Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. All right, let me go ahead and get us set up. Let's get us going. How's everybody doing this evening? Hope you guys are having a phenomenal day. Let's see here. Let me see who all we got in the building right quick. All right. We got Forex Princess in the building. We got E Money in the building. What's going on, Yoshi? We got Bradley in the house. What's going on, Forex Goddess Rico? We got Miso in the building. What's going on, Klebs? What's going on, Joy? We got Natasha in the house. Let's see. What's good, Abel? We got Mandau. We got, let me see. Hey, Cheryl. What's up? I gotta say Cheryl now. I gotta catch myself. Let's see here. We got who else? Who else we got in the building? What's going on, Delansky? What's good? What's good? Everything's great. Appreciate it. See here. What's going on, Millions? Let's see. We got Yuki in the building. Hey, we got Japan representing. Let's go. What's going on, Yuki? All right, what's good, T-Pat? I see you, fam. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and shrink my big mug down. Let's jump right into some sauce. All righty. Boom, boom, boom. All right, what's going on, H-Tran? What's good? This is Kurt with the iPhone money, dude. I mean, so my first FaceTime was with Mike and Maurice, and everybody's been cracking jokes. Like even Nick was like, "I thought this was a scammer." Trying to get, I texted him. I was like, "Hey, this is Kurt. I got an iPhone, so don't make jokes." And he was like, "Man, I thought it was a scammer, bro. Like I thought somebody was trying to get me." I'm like, "No, it's real. It's a thing. It's a whole thing. It's led me to drinking." It's water. But yeah, this is my iPhone 13, guys. It's real. It's a thing. I got it. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I get it. I understand why people like it because it's a very simple phone. Like you don't have to do a lot. When you got an Android phone, like you got to know how to customize some stuff and do some things. So like, I think Android is a little more for like the PC person who likes to build stuff and, customize things. Like, yeah, for sure. iPhone for me is like, it's more of a, like, you kind of want a phone that just out the box, just use it, right? All the apps are already on your screen. And for me, this is just messy. Like, I don't like having a lot of apps on my screen. So my Android is a lot different. Like, it really is like just nothing on my screen. Nothing. Like, but if I know what I want, I tap certain parts of my screen and all the apps open up. Other part, other apps open up. So it's customized for me. I had to put those apps on there. But I get it. iPhone it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. See here. Y'all just cracking jokes on me, Kurt, with the iPhone. What's going on, Palomares? Let's see here. What's going on, Manny? See here. I'm about to FaceTime you. Man, listen, I'm like, it's a whole thing. This is a whole nother number, though, for this. I'm using this strictly for work. I'm getting a new Fold. This is the Fold 2. So I'm getting the Fold 4. I just got to wait for it. So this was like the loaner phone until the other phone comes in. But I told y'all, this phone, I use it so much, the back blew open. Like it's a whole, like you can see the inside of the thing. Like it's bad. Like it's 5 years old. I've used this phone every day, all day. So yeah. See here, that combo clean. I need that red. Yeah, this was a free phone. Like Verizon's got a thing. Like if you start a new line, they'll give you a free iPhone 13. He was like, I'm only gonna add like $20 to your bill. I was like, so we could do that until my other phone gets here. See here, I have both phones too. Kurt, I get it. Yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing, man. I feel like I have to do this stuff now. See here, I was scared when you said you had an iPhone 6. I still got my iPhone 6 downstairs. All right, let me go ahead and get into this, man. Y'all got me over here just talking about phones. Oh my goodness. All right, fam. So, let me see here. Let's bring that back up. I'm over here going into the whole other thing. Let's see here. Boom, boom. And I want to go over here. There we go. So we got Bitcoin still hanging out at $25,000. Ethereum hanging out at around 17. Everything's pretty much where we left it this morning. Nothing too crazy is going on, right? We talk about SUI still hanging out here. A little bit of a jump, went up 3 cents. Let's go. We got Uniswap sitting down here around like $4, and it's almost like a 10-cent jump as well for Uni, right? Immutable X right now looking pretty interesting. Cosmos and Filecoin bringing up the rear for the 3% gainers, and after that, everything's pretty much like nothing too wild, no fireworks jumping out of the gym kind of thing happening today. When we get over here and look at these charts, guys, like there isn't really a whole lot going on. Right? We're looking at the daily. You guys can see the weekend. We had that initial drop, and it's been pretty much just sideways action. I don't know about you guys. It's like this weekend went by really fast. I'm like, man, it was Friday. And, it was like, boom, Monday. I'm like, wow. Like I turned around and it was Monday. But yeah, right now, I definitely am like kind of on the sideline for this. And I think you guys need to understand like why I'm saying that. So we know this week on Wednesday, we're going to get FOMC news, right? Everybody's favorite news update, FOMC. So we get that this is going to be a big deal. We get that this is going to be something that most folks are going to really be paying attention to moving forward. So I'd be a fool not to pay attention to this and think that, oh, this is not going to make a big difference. Like everybody's watching to see what this thing does. I don't know why my highlighter keeps going away. But anyway, this major deal, we're going to be watching that. So I don't think we're going to get any fireworks before. Maybe a couple, consolidating moves, but nothing like, crazy giant breakouts and all that kind of stuff. I think we're going to see some sideways action until Wednesday. And this is usually how it goes whenever we got like big news like this coming up. The quiet, the calm before the storm. Nobody really comes into the market thinking, oh yeah, it's going to be big news. Let's trade everything now. Like nobody's doing that. Like anybody who's looking to get into the market are pretty much waiting to see what the Fed's going to do. And then they're going to make a move from there. Not to mention, we got stuff like this going on. Let me see if I can pull this up for you guys real quick. I'm going to play this so you guys can see this as well. We got Gary Gensler right now being pretty much voted out.
Crypto industry in America, then good. And that's not just me saying that, that's our representatives.
The biggest crypto failure in history is probably FTX at $9 billion. Were you the chairman of the SEC when FTX collapsed?
Yeah.
Yes. And how many times did you meet with FTX prior to their collapse?
Too many times. Can we say too many?
My public record shows 2.
Many times.
You met it with FTX at least twice. And arguably, the second biggest crypto failure in history was Terra Luna. Who was the chairman of the SEC when Terra Luna collapsed, sir?
You were, sir.
It brought You were, sir, reclaiming my time. You were. Does it concern you that your approach to the digital asset industry is actually driving this industry out of the United States?
Trying to drive it to compliance,
but with no rules. You're trying to drive it to compliance with no rules. Are we all on the same page here? Like he hasn't laid out any blueprint or roadmap for people to follow to stay compliant. He just keeps hitting people with fines. You can't regulate through force and say we're doing a great job. No, you're catching people and blindsiding them with rules you're just making up on the spot that you don't like every other day or so. 1 minute they ask you, can they do anything better? You say you're fine, and then you slap them with a fee or a fine.
if they're not complying with the laws.
You say the crypto market is rife with non-compliance. However, existing SEC rules make no sense for blockchain-based companies.
Let's go!
And following them would actually kill these businesses. Your regulatory style lacks flexibility and nuance, and as a result, you've been an incompetent cop on the beat, doing
bars.
Nothing to protect everyday Americans.
If you believe crypto belongs.
All right, I'm just saying. It was bars right there. He came after dude, and I'm not mad at him for doing that. Like honestly, I did feel him on that because a lot of this stuff is just you got to do better, bro. And right now you see House Republicans introduced bill to remove SEC chair Gary Gensler and restructure the entire SEC. Let's do it. Yes, I agree. If you guys feel like Gary Gensler should get removed and we should restructure the entire SEC, drop a 111 in the chat. All right. Let's see here. My name is Gary Gensler, and I have a very difficult time saying yes or no. It feels like it. He feels like it. It feels like it's a whole thing right now. Let's see here. Oh, man. Let's see. Yeah, dude. They was going in on him. But you see, like, because of how aggressive they were, he's trying to become extra aggressive with crypto. And I'm like, we're not the enemy. Crypto is not the enemy. The American people didn't do anything to you. You're doing all of this stuff, not even in regard to how it's going to affect the American investor. And I'm like, dude, this is not a good sign. It's not a good look. And it's like, we got so many people in power that just don't have a plan. I feel like they're just being told what to do and then look like fools when they get questioned about it. Because none of it makes sense. You need to lock him up. Well, I wouldn't say all of that, but getting him out and getting somebody in that actually like has a plan and can regulate this stuff in a way where it doesn't really, push it out of the country and just remove us from this space entirely. Like, yes, I think it would be really good, really nice to have somebody in that can actually make this, like you said, nuanced and flexible, so it allows that growth in this space. Let's see here. Says my kid almost gave himself a concussion. Whoa. Be careful. Make sure the fam is good first, Frederick. Let's see here. It says, tell me the bull market is coming without telling me the bull market is coming. I know, Willie. That's how I feel, bro. Like, oh, man. I'm going to get back to this. But knowing we got, this coming I swear you read my mind on that one, Willie. Like, tell me the bull market is coming without telling me the bull market is coming. Yeah, we about to redo the Fed. We about to redo the SEC. And the Fed's going to drop a stable coin soon. Yeah. It just seems super like, let's set up all the dominoes and act like we're not setting them up, right? It's like you're watching somebody go, and another domino, and another domino. Like, what are you doing? Nothing. And I'm like, I'm supposed to just ignore the fact that you're building all of this stuff to just knock this stuff down and we're not going to pay attention to it? Like, yeah, nah, bro. We all see it. All right. It says, whoa, been here a while since the live session. What's going on, Brodex? Glad to have you on board with us this evening. See here, he can influence markets and has no ramifications on it. No ramifications of his actions. No, I agree. Right now, like you guys are seeing, like this is the importance of understanding where you are as an investor in the cryptocurrency space. You can't depend on, some SEC head or, anybody else to come in and make this stuff, make sense for you. You got to do the work. You got to do the research. You got to come here and figure out if this fits your investment style, if this fits your, your idea of what a good investment even looks like. Right? Some people see crypto and see it as just crazy speculation, super risky. It doesn't make any sense. Why would anybody get involved? None of these things actually do anything. And I'm like, dude, like you haven't been here very long. How can you show up and say they don't do anything? Right? It's like looking in the back office of Amazon and saying all this stuff is just servers and data, doesn't really do anything. And I'm like, bro, this is like the future of this company. They need all of this to grow and go to another level. We're looking at the future of finance be built now, and you're screaming it doesn't do anything. If DeFi doesn't do anything, then the banks definitely don't do anything, right? If NFTs don't do anything, then the entire collectible space, the entire area of identity doesn't do anything. Like having IDs and having data or networks of databases of networks are put together where people can say, hey, this is for your security. This is how we're going to do this. Like LifeLock must be a joke then. All right. Like I don't understand how you could look at something that's innovative and say it doesn't do anything. And if it doesn't have crazy use case, that's because it's new. It's brand new. All right. A lot of people aren't even really tech savvy when it comes to the internet, let alone blockchain. Like blockchain's the evolution of Web 2.0. We got Web 3.0 on the way. And the biggest thing is people want to take stuff like crypto, like something like Matic, Ethereum, Cardano, Solana, DOT, all these projects that have their own networks. People come in and say, oh, it's just a chart that people trade. And I'm like, but they actually have partnerships and they actually have communities that build on them and actual people that come in and decide to innovate in the space. Like this is a real ecosystem of people building and creating, right? Games, different things when it comes to finance, everything when it comes to collectibles. Like we're seeing an entire ecosystem be built out from scratch. Like Bitcoin's only 10 years or 13 years old now, right? And we're seeing all this growth show up and people on the outside are still screaming, I don't get it. I don't get it. And I'm like, maybe it's just not for you. Maybe it's just not for you because most people, all they focus on is what's in front of them and what they can see and what they can feel. I remember when credit cards first came out, a lot of our grandparents weren't comfortable with it. But now with crypto, we're falling into that same area. A lot of people just saying, well, we're not, we ain't. right? But the majority of people on the outside are rolling their eyes at it because they don't get it yet, right? And I think the biggest telltale sign is that when you see companies like Visa, MasterCard, American Express, and all these big credit card companies decide that they want to build on top of blockchain for their new infrastructure, that says a lot about this space just growing and evolving, because you see the major credit card companies saying, yeah, we can't keep up with what blockchain does. There are literally projects right now that dwarf what we can do when it comes to transactions per second. And the security that they offer is 10 times better. I remember 2 years ago where I think it was Visa had just went down for like a day in a certain part of the world, where if you had a Visa, MasterCard, Visa card, you couldn't even use it. It was just a wrap. Like, no, don't even pull this card out. Nobody's gonna be able to use it. Like, their system had went through something and just shut down, right? So when I see these things now being built out, I think to myself, like, dude, we got a window where us as investors and researchers can come in, find use case, and take full advantage of it. And the beautiful side of it is we get to chart it. So it's not like we're just looking at, like, you know, a random thing that doesn't have any real data. We get data behind it and say, since this has released, it's been going to the upside. Let's try something else. Since this has released, it's been going to the upside. I wonder if I can chart it and find historical similarities, and then in turn, find a way to be profitable at this. Well, let's see if there's anything that repeats. There's a cycle where we have the drop off, the consolidation, the growth, the accumulation, and the halving. 5 points of the cycle, and what do we see after those cycles end? Boom, we have the next big bull run. The drop off, consolidation, growth, accumulation, halving, boom, price takes off and runs to the upside again. The drop off, consolidation, growth, accumulation, halving, boom, price takes off, runs to the upside again. The drop off, consolidation, oh, we're still in the cycle part where when I was telling you guys about the consolidation part, nobody wanted to listen. And now we're breaking out and we're almost retesting off this area. And I'm like, yeah, dude, it might be closer than you think. And if you're not trying to take advantage of this, yeah, maybe this not for you. Maybe this space is too volatile. Maybe this space has too much uncertainty. Maybe this space is just way too speculative. And I get it. It's not for everybody. But when I see this stuff and I see historical data and I know women lie, men lie, but the numbers though, right? So when I'm looking at that and I see everything lining up again, it's like, come on, family. Am I supposed to sit here and just say, yeah, guys, just ignore it this time? It's no way it's going to keep doing what it's been doing because the system is really trying to come after Bitcoin. I'm like, you can't stop it. You can't stop it. Like, it's not one of those things where the government says, hey, you're done with Bitcoin. It's not a business. It's not a group of people that just decided to do something. It's literally a code that exists online. To stop Bitcoin is to shut down the whole internet. And I tell everybody, if they cut the whole internet, we got bigger fish to fry. Way bigger, like, because we're going to be hungry and we're going to need to go fishing and stuff. But it's going to be a whole thing. So I look at this and I think about it and I say, you know what? Yeah, this just checks the box for me, because I remember how I felt when I watched the internet be birthed and I didn't understand how to capitalize on it, how to monetize it. I didn't even have the confidence to step out and say I wanted to monetize something on the internet, because it didn't cross my mind. My mind was so focused on just school and getting to college and making sure I had a car. Like, I couldn't think about stuff like this. And now that I'm at a place where I'm like, dude, the world is very different. Things move a lot faster. And the internet has gotten much more simplified and simplistic for a newer person to come in and say, hey, learn how to work a website, learn how to work Google, understand that this stuff is going to keep growing and evolving. To just bury your head in the sand and think it's going to go away is scary, right? And now it's not just a United States thing. This is global. When you got big countries coming in like...
I love them. China.
So when you got big countries like, China,
I have to have my China.
Coming in to utilize this space, it's next level, right? I'm not going to preach. I get very passionate about opportunities that I know not just myself, but you guys can come in and benefit from. Like, I get it. Some of you guys may be, doing other things. Some of you guys may be focused on this and that, and trading is this thing you just kind of do in the background. We're in a window right now where this could outpace anything else you're doing once it fully fleshes out. And I think some of you guys haven't experienced it yet. Hold on one second. Yeah, some of you guys haven't experienced it yet. So for you, it's a little like, I don't know, Kurt. I haven't been here for a bull run, so I don't get it. Because I love me some China. But yeah, man, it's a thing. It's a whole thing. So yeah, I keep that one Trump thing up like all day long. Like I just in my mind, I just see him doing this, the duck lips, all day long. Like China, you know it, right? But anyway, like I see this window and I'm thinking so many people are gonna miss out on it because they don't have the foresight. They don't have that vision. A lot of people have sight, they don't have vision. When I see these levels and I see the market pulling back the zones, I'm thinking, ooh, it wants to do the thing. And nobody's paying attention, and I get it. Like, let me go to this chart for you guys for a second. So, actually, this is the one. So, when you see things like this, I think about these low point, all right, high point, moves like this, prices coming back to an area. Also looking at low point to high point here for a fib. And I'm looking at 50% 618 zone as an area for buyers. And I'm like, dude, prices come down, gotten close, tested off of it with a wick, and we're slowly moving sideways. And I'm thinking to myself, like, dude, I've watched this thing do this over and over and over again. Like, nothing about this stuff surprises me anymore. Like, nothing. Like, I can sit back and say, okay, guys, after this happened, prices kind of bounced around and took off. After this happened, prices bounced around and then took off. Like, you guys have to see the market for what it's worth, right? So let's just kind of history lesson for a second. Back here, when we had this crazy drop off, this was back when Bitcoin was going through something, when we saw Bitcoin SV show up. Bitcoin SV was Bitcoin Satoshi's vision. It was created by this guy named Craig Wright, my bad. And Craig Wright decided that he was going to tell everybody he was Satoshi Nakamoto. Like, he created Bitcoin. Bruh, nobody believed him. Nobody ever believed him. He went to court a bunch of times. They said, well, if you're Satoshi Nakamoto, move a little Bitcoin. So we know you own a wallet. Done. It'll solve all of this. We can get out of here. Oh, I can't move it yet. Okay, well, why can't you move it yet? Because of this, that, and the third. They're like, bro, stop. So after so long, nobody believed him. He made his own coin, forked to Bitcoin Cash. And after that, we saw a lot of the miners shift over. Big drop in the market value brought us here. Nothing was wrong with Bitcoin. The entire time, Bitcoin never was broken. Nothing ever wrong happened. But this created this entire run to the downside, right? We were consolidating and then some crazy news happened. Big drop off, right? Right here, COVID, Black Swan event, big drop off, right? We were already fine, hovering up here. Was no reason for us to break lower, but these things happen from time to time, and we saw major drop off. Then over here, we were kind of just slowly meandering along. Terra Luna happens, big drop off. We're consolidating. Three Arrows Capital happens, big drop off. Then we're over here meandering along. FTX happens, big drop off. Consolidation, jump to the upside, finally get a relief rally right on schedule. We're looking forward to seeing the market take off and break out. Guys, every cycle we've had has not been Bitcoin's fault. All these pullbacks you see aren't Bitcoin's fault. This was COVID. This was a whole back and forth with miners. This right here was simply an amalgamation of things, right? Like I said, we had we had Terra Luna, we had Three Arrows Capital, we had FTX, right? All three of those things created this movement down. Bitcoin's not broken. Bitcoin didn't get hacked. Bitcoin's not, doing anything it shouldn't be doing. But we keep on giving Bitcoin this bad rap and it's horrible this and everything. It's never Bitcoin's fault. Exactly, Alexander. It's literally we're just riding the momentum of this stuff. And I feel like the market's gonna do what it wants to do. All right, I'm gonna let y'all in on a little secret. Bring the mic in a little closer so y'all can know I'm serious. All right, I'm serious, guys. Let me look around first. So I'm about to know. All right, listen. This stuff's already coded into the market. It's gonna do what it wants to do, but we pretty much got a blueprint because we seen it happen before. All right, you can tell your mammy, but don't tell nobody else. All right, we're gonna leave it like that. All right, so understanding that. We've seen the cycles play out over and over and over Fear has no place in your future, has no place in your analysis, because we utilize what? Risk management. So we're only risking 1 to 2% of our account every time we take a setup. There's no reason to be running around here terrified or scared of none of this stuff in the market. All right. I tell people this all the time. I know for newer people, it's a little different. No, right? People get super up in arms and bent out of shape about this stuff. Like, I just don't want y'all doing it. All right. As I'm telling my daddy, you can tell him, but I don't know if he's going to believe you. All right. So I'm just being honest. Like, some people get it. And some of you guys are just on the outside looking in, screaming, I wish. Don't be that. What's going on, Natasha? Like, don't be that person. Like, really make a decision about if this is for you or not. Because I'm telling you now, we're at an inflection point where straddling the fence ain't gonna get it no more. It's just not. Like, you're gonna have to commit, or you're gonna have to just say, I'm straight. Because the people that commit are gonna benefit from it. Because I'm telling you right now, when I was over here, I'm gonna tell y'all something. When I started educating, it was right over in this area. All right. I became an educator like December 2017. Okay. It was like right up in here, like right at the top. Okay. And then all of my first year was this. I was supposed to keep people excited about crypto throughout all of this. Yeah. So how do you think, and I'm just gonna ask you guys a question in the chat. If you had just become a Go Live educator, right? Crypto's brand spanking new. We didn't have all of the DeFi and NFTs back in 2017, 2018. You're supposed to make this thing fun and exciting and phenomenal. And all everybody sees is lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, your whole first year. And then boom, we get a big drop off, right? How in the world can even you as an educator stay motivated, right? This is where it comes to having vision, because you look left and you find historical data, and you realize something with historical data, that the market doesn't like to repeat itself, but it definitely rhymes, right? So guess what happened the entire time when I was educating throughout all of this, right? I'm gonna go to a daily chart and I want to show y'all something, because maybe y'all will believe me. I'm gonna get back on point with the lesson. I just want to show you guys some historical data so you understand how consistent and how simplistic this stuff is. Anybody that hasn't watched my field videos, this is your fault that you don't understand what I'm about to do. High point, low point, 50%, 618. From this point, after price leaves this low, it starts to move up. We're looking for 50%, 618 inside that box. Boom, I want to find a sale, because we know from high to low, how low can we go, right? I want to look for a sale. Let's try it again. High point, down to the lowest point right here, our little wick right there. Box it up, 50%, 618 zone. All right, boom, boom, big drop off. Okay, let's try it again. High point, down to the low point, 50%, 618 zone. Let's see how it plays out. Price gets into our area, turn around, we get a drop off. Let's try it again. High point, down to the low point here. Let's see how maybe it was late. Kept going lower. Boom. Where are we looking at now? 50%, 618 zone. Bro. Let's try it again. Maybe somebody will believe me if I do it again. High point, down to the low point. 50%, 618 zone. Trading is hard. I'm not trying to be a jerk. I promise you I'm not. I'm just being honest. Like, this was my sessions. We were just waiting for levels to get hit and then just riding them back down. Waiting for levels to get hit, riding them back down. And I'm like, I'm not a genius. I'm not. This is not the Kirk show and look how great I am. That boy good. Like, no, this is literally coded into the market. So when I tell you guys this stuff and you see it happen over and over, I'll do it again. High point, down to our lowest closing candle right here. So I went high to the low, and I'm just going to box this up for you. 50%, 6-1. Dog. Stretch this out so you see for yourself what this look like. Guys, tested the level, and then pew, big old drop down. Is any of this difficult for you to repeat? we came right over here, red box again. Man, high point down to the low point. My lowest closing right there. It's my lowest closing candle right there. All right. I wanted that 50% 618 zone so bad. I wanted this one. All right. Guess what happened? Shallow. It was a 382. But when the 382 trade happens, once a lower low is made, I can do what? Use my extension tool. Just get ready. You can see how creepy this is. High point, down to the low point, back up to the high point. I just want to ride it down to the 127. All right. So this level here was the area I was looking to get out at for a take profit. Right. And if I really wanted to get extra, 1618 right here would have been a really nice zone to see price potentially come down to. Right up in here would have been dope. Super dope. But we didn't get that far. But I want to box all these levels up so you can see how price reacted to our entire area. And you can see how it played out. Because maybe if I show you in real life, you'll believe me. All right. So, let me go back and erase the fib. You just want to get the extension off. All right. So, we didn't get 50% 618. But we did get a 382 once price broke below. Now I'm looking for opportunities to ride this bad boy down to our first level here. Sure enough, we got that move. Boom, price hits the zone. What happens? It gets between 127 and 141 and just bounces back and forth. Bounces back and forth. We break below 141. Now I'm thinking to myself, there's no more structure here. This thing wants to fall off a cliff. 50% 618 zone. Anybody knows how to draw that out? Oh yeah, you just go from the high point, go down to the low point, and then you just stretch out the box. 50% 618 zone. Ta-da! What happens? Another drop off. Wow. Wow. Even if we use the big fib, let's say we went all the way up here, right? I wanted to get this 50% 618 zone right here, straight across. For this one, it never hit, only hit a 382, right? Or did it hit? We got close. We got close. It almost wigged, but it didn't. Even if I didn't get that, I can use my extension tool again and see what? Potentially where to take the trade if I take it at the lower points. Boom, boom. I want to get out at the 127. Where would my exit be? 127. Right here's my take profit. Wow. Coded into the market. We've used 0 indicators. We only just measured it. And I read, women lie, men lie, numbers don't lie. Okay, then. Looks like we're on to something. So when we start utilizing this stuff the right way, it pretty much tells you what your next move is, gets you ready for the next setup with confidence. And now I'm watching the market do what? Bounce around all the levels we already talked about. Broke above a level, wants to come back and basically retest the level, potentially down here at 24, right? Where we have a rally, base, rally. Let's just zoom in on that for a second. That nice rally, base. You know, I'm going to box it up for y'all so y'all can see it. This zone right here, I'm going to take this, make this a little smaller, right there. That right there is a powerful zone that we're going to keep an eye on once we get this news. Okay? Okay, Pumpkin? See here. This storm tile, just take some quotes from Kurt. As long as you love teaching, you will find the flow to become great as well. Yeah, man, like it's a thing where I don't sit down and do sessions with you guys and be like, man, I sure hope I don't mess up. Like, bruh, that's never on my mind when I do go lives. Like, it's never, like, ever, right? All I think about is if I can get as much of my information out as I can. Like, there's times I finish go live, like, dang, I forgot to bring that up. Like, that's the only time I get annoyed, because I'll be like thinking about something. I'm like, oh, I was supposed to talk about that. And then it'll just slip my mind because I get so caught up in other stuff. Y'all make me laugh the whole session because I'm reading the chat and y'all being silly. But yeah, most of the time it's either we squirrel off and I don't have enough time to get to everything, or, you know, we just get so caught up in just emphasizing one thing, or maybe it's something you guys aren't clear on and I focus in on that. But honestly, yeah, like you'll find as an educator, you guys will find your own group. Some of you guys may want to be educators in the future. It really boils down to your teaching style. How efficient are you at what you do? Do you have a track record of seeing, you know, having people be successful with what you're teaching? Are you successful with what you're teaching, right? All of that stuff has to kind of a line. And the thing is, like, eventually you'll find your group. Some people may just be really good at teaching a certain strategy. Some people may be good at teaching indicators. Some people may be good at just teaching, from a standpoint of, hey, let's do this together, marking up charts and showing the different, analysis. I don't like to switch up what I do. So I know sometimes you'll see an educator come with a brand new thing and a brand new thing and a brand new thing. And I'm like, no, I'll make sure you guys an indicator here and there, but I'm always going to go right to the fib. After I show you the indicator, hey, our fibs kind of do this already. So get used to looking at price action and figuring out what works best for you, right? If I'm looking at this area here, I'll give you guys a little bit of an insight on this, right? This is a high point. This is a low point. This is a lower high. This is a lower low. This is a lower high. This is a lower low. I just want to keep this valid right here. This right here makes sense to me right now because I'll know either we're going to break down or we're going to break the trajectory of this downtrend once my trend line is broken. And y'all know me, like, I am crazy about trend lines, but I like to keep things simplistic. If you use trend lines properly, it takes away so much anxiety. Hey, my trend line got broken. Cool. Let me start paying attention again. You don't believe me? All right, let's try this one. And I'll walk you through so you see what I mean. All right. I got a high point. I got a low point. I got a high point. I got a low point. I got a high point. I got a consolidating. Then boom, I got a low point. All right, bet. Let's just keep it real simple. Right here, after the FTX drop, that was my last, point of reference for big major sell-off. Great, awesome, phenomenal. Check this out. Check this out, because some of y'all gonna get mad. All right, Kurt, how do I take advantage of this? All right. Simplicity, right? Let's get rid of this for a second. We know this is our last major point before price broke down and made a lower low. All right, let's put a fib on it, because y'all know me. Throw some fibs on it. So we got high point down to low point. Man, I wonder if we're going to get a sell-off at 50%, 618 zone. Price got close, came back, and then just broke above, never came back, and retested this area. We also have our last line of defense at 786, 886. Pay very close attention. We're hunting rabbits this season. What just happened? What just happened? We had an imbalance of potential selling pressure waiting here. Price came back, broke above, closed above, stayed above. There's no longer any who left here. Who's not left here, guys? Put it in the chat for me so I know we all on the same page. I don't like talking to myself. I want to know if y'all paying attention. If we know this was a zone for potential sellers, we broke above, stayed above, it invalidated this area. Somebody don't live here no more. See, I know somebody in the chat was gonna say rascally wabbits. Like I got my 80s babies in here. So I know y'all on the same type of time I'm on. All right, bet. All right. Yeah, y'all listen, sellers don't live here anymore. All right, I ain't gonna take y'all back too far, all right? But y'all know what I'm talking about. Love don't live here no more. So listen, if I know one of y'all bust out laughing loud when I just did that because y'all didn't think I was gonna make the sound. So we right here, we know we no longer have any sellers left. Price breaks above, closes above, stays above. Oh no, it's only buyers left at this level. So now price takes off, comes back, same thing here. I'm about to really mess you up. We know only buyers live here and we got a retracement. What I'm about to do. Trend line's done, low point to high point. Let's box it up. We're not doing nothing with this level. Oh, snap. The same zone, 50% 618 zone is overlapping with the zone that no longer has any sellers in it. Sheesh. That right there is crazy. Right? Do you see the common sense we just put into the market right there? Didn't have to use an indicator, no RSI. I drew a trend line, bro. A trend line told me, hey, pay attention. The trajectory just changed. On that pullback, there may not be any more sellers left here. So look out for buyers at this level. At this level. I'm just saying. Tell me some whose man is this? Whose man's is this? See here, the dance, the diffusion, the zone, the diffusion dance. Like I'm just saying. Yes, I am well rounded in the ways of DBZ. All right. But no, man, like I get amped up about this stuff because I feel like it's so straightforward. You don't have to make it difficult. So if I'm looking at this level, and let's just hypothetically say, right, high point down to the low point here, and I got, you know, my 50% level here. Price comes up and wants to test this level, right? Or I got my bigger zone up here at around 28, and price just breaks out and runs to the upside, right? Everybody's like, oh man, we missed it, Kurt. We didn't get a chance to get into our setup. And everybody said the same thing, but oh, we missed it, Kurt. It took off. And then right here, nobody took advantage of it. Same thing again. Make a nice little downward trajectory. Breaks out. Oh, we missed it, Kurt. And then it comes back and retests. And I'm hypothetical for you, because let's say it does it again, right? High point, low point. We got an area up here. Now, stay with me, because this is me doing 3D chess with y'all. I do this on my own a lot for my hypotheticals of where I believe the market could go. We know for sure there's a node of selling pressure right there. Wink, wink. Anybody who was on that class talk about nodes. Right? There's a node of selling pressure up here. So we know regardless of whatever happens down here, we know for sure there's some strong selling pressure up here. Okay? So not so much strong, because we did come back and retest a couple times. So this might not be as strong as we would like it to be, but there is some selling pressure. Let's say price comes up, test this area. Hypothetical, if this is my last low point and this is my high point up here, somewhere inside of here, notice where our 50% levels are, right? 50% 618 zone. If I make this my area here, 50% 618 overlaps with my zone. If I put it here, right, 50% is just below, right? So either way, a move up to this level could look something like this. All right, let's say we just bounce to the upside, hit this area here, come back down to this area here, and then we make another move up, right? And it just plays out masterfully, right? And all of a sudden, everybody's tripping like, oh man, never came back to the trend line. They rarely do. They rarely do, right? But you start to get a better understanding of structure, a better understanding of where the money is, and you don't question it anymore. You see the levels and you just take advantage. All right. And now my thing is, after everything I've just shown you guys, did anybody here just have oh wow, I was able to follow that moment? Right? Like, you know, sometimes you see an educator going through stuff really quickly and it's like, dude, I don't get it. Like, you guys are watching me draw these fibs out, and I'm showing you how the overlapping and the mindset behind zones, not just a line. Like, I need zones. I need to know areas, right? Because we know this isn't, you know, darts, right? This is like, you know, it's horseshoes and hand grenades, right? You just got to get close, right? So you get to a place where it's like, okay, I'm able to follow this and it's clicking. I'm seeing it and it's resonating. Okay, cool. I appreciate you, family. I appreciate y'all. All right. Says making sure. All right, yes, it did. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sure did. All right, bro, I'm tweaking. Says nose class was lit. All right. Says yes. All right, bet. I just want to make sure, sometimes, you know, we go as educators, we get so caught up in nerding out, like we forget to kind of check in with y'all to make sure it's like it's resonating. We'll be like, and another thing, if you carry the 1 and reciprocate the 6, and after that, you're going to have this, a goose. And y'all looking at us on the screen like, hey, bro, you know what? I'm straight. I'm just going to make me a sandwich. Right? Like, y'all just get irritated and leave because it's like it's too much at one time. So I try to make sure I'm always checking back with you guys to just, you know, make sure it's clicking. All right. It's the name of Node class. It wasn't Nodes class. They just doing a lot United. Like, I was talking about nodes and I was kind of going over it and just kind of giving a little bit of insight on certain things in the market. Like, I was talking about how, I think I did it on the harmonics class. So go to my personal channel and check it out there. But I was talking about how back in the day when I first got into IM, right, 2016, 2017, right, when I first got into IM, it was like Christopher Terry was like one of the main educators. We only had 3 educators. It was Chris Terry, Mike Miles, and Christopher Derrick. And we didn't have recorded sessions. So if you didn't get on the site and catch it while it was going on, you missed it. And Chris Terry would do sessions. He would talk about nodes in the market. And it reminded me of like how back in the day when we were kids, we would have like the the fuse box in your basement, where if like you know had like a space heater on or like a hair dryer at the same time, that whole side of the house is done. It's boom, right? No power. So nowadays we got circuit breakers. You just flip the little switch thing. Yes, back in the day, children, we had to go in the basement, unscrew a fuse, put another fuse in, and the side of the house would come back on. Like our houses had fuses, like the inside of your car. It was a thing, all right? But we've evolved to, you know, flipping the switch for the circuit breaker now. But I thought about that when we talked about nodes, because I remember, you know, you would see the nodes in the house where all these rooms would run to one node and then get wired into that box and had a fuse connected to it. I think about that in the market where I'm like, this is just nodes of power in the market, right? We saw how price came up, reacted to that node of power. Took off, came back, reacted to that node of power. Price came up, little rally-based rally, reacted to that node of power. It's going to come back, reacting to that node of power. We haven't come back and fully tested it yet. I believe there are buyers waiting here because we've seen price create a little bit of a rally-based rally. Cool. So I think when we take off, we may see another small node here, respecting, breaking out, kind of seeing that movement become a little more consistent. So just a small retest, fallback, and then we take off, and all of a sudden we've had 1 test, 2 tests, 3 tests, 4 tests, and that 5th one is gone. Right? So a quick little boom, 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 and now we have this healthy looking consolidation, testing, retesting, finally breaking out, getting into some other areas and maybe a nice, you know, run, a quick break above, you know, something like that. And all of a sudden we create new nodes, right? And now we have a whole thing now where this node becomes an area and we find another zone, we break above and we test, you know, 40K now, right? But we're just getting closer and closer to the what? The halving, getting closer and closer to that last bit of accumulation around 30 and 40. I think we'll kind of bounce back and forth within these areas. I didn't randomly put these boxes here for fun. This was all calculated, thought out, looking at the levels, looking at the zones back here that have been dropped, base, drop, coming back up, and I'll kind of box this up so you can see what I mean. This area here, that was a drop, base, drop, and now you're seeing what? Price already spend time in this area, big zone of selling pressure. We tested the level, and we're feeling all the sell orders here to push price down. This isn't random stuff happening in the market. These are a cluster of sell orders that created a huge selling pressure that pushed us down. We're coming back to feel all the sell orders. That's it. And once we run out of sell orders and we get back here and there's no longer any sell orders left, what orders are left? Buy orders, right? And there you go, buckle up, Buttercup. And it's for me, I can't help but smile because I'm like, bro, this is like, it's like knowing the answers to the test and they still acting like it's a real test. Like it's a real test and you better pass. And I'm like, you serious? You real? All right. Give me a pen, right? So at this point, I'm like, y'all really playing this thing out. Okay, let's play the game, right? So every time I see these levels in the market or I see certain things happen, I kind of chuckle a little bit because I'm like, this is like the same old stuff repeating itself every cycle over and over, all right? Since I be having so many typos in here, typing fast. Let me see here. SF here. Few times teaching fibs with my kids from Kurt's high to low. How low can you go? Or low to high. We're looking for a buy. Just adding this part. Says 5, 6, 7, 8. 50%. 618 says 786, 886, 5, 6, 7, 8. See you in Croatia. Facts. We definitely gonna be in Croatia though. See here. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Make the body go boom, boom. What? Oh my goodness. All I want to do is zoom, a zoom, 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 and a boom, boom. Just shake it. All right. So when we got these areas, I pay attention to the trend line. The trend line pretty much sets the tone for what the next move is going to be and what the next play is going to be and how you're going to analyze that. Because like I said before, if I wasn't paying attention to this area because of this was my last point before we made the low, because my trend line says I have to reevaluate, right? So think about this. If I had my trend line way up here, I wouldn't have been able to capitalize on this properly because my fib would have been way up here. Yes, it followed some areas and got close and tested off of it because there are just friction points in the market but it's not giving me everything I need to take advantage of this area. I'm watching this. Once price made what? A new low. This was my low point. Great, right? Price made a new low. I would have took my trend line from there to here, right? And then what did I see? Price come up and retest right off my trend line. Didn't break it, but what do I see? Opportunity. High point to my lowest point. 50%, 618 zone. Is somebody understanding what I'm showing y'all right now? Like, these are levels that price is coming up to hit, and we're taking advantage of them, right? This isn't hard stuff. We're just using fibs over and over, and the market keeps coming back to us magically, right? Let's say you missed the sale here, right? This was a trajectory. I'm gonna walk you through this because I really want people to get this. This is, and I'm gonna move forward from here. I'm gonna wrap it up from here. Let's say you missed this sale point because it was quick, couple of wicks off the area, and it dropped off. If you miss that, it's not 100% your fault, right? But you do have a responsibility to take advantage of the price action moving forward. So if I know my trend line, low point, high point, 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 right? What do I have here? Because we're on a daily. I want to see how price reacts. Boom, boom. Price breaks through all my areas, but I do have this last zone here. 786, 886 friction point, as well as big zone of node of power. What happened? Price got here, big drop off. This told me this area no longer has buyers left in it. So what do I expect to happen? If price comes back up to this area that no longer has any buyers in it. Wow. Wow. But if we didn't draw our trend line, we wouldn't have been able to take advantage of this zone. Wow. What happens when I draw it all out? High point down to the low point here. 50%, 618. Sheesh. We got the entry here, but the wick entry was even nicer. Okay? No indicators. Just fibs. Just fibs. That's all I'm saying. And it doesn't matter which strategy that you trade. None of this stuff. You can put fibs on top of whatever you're using. I don't want you guys to feel like, let me stop doing what I'm doing and just use fibs. You don't have to just use fibs. If you trade bounce back, put a fib on top of it, right? You trade smart money, put a fib on top of it, right? You trade DeLorean, put a fib on top of it, right? Like, it's not this either or thing. That's the beauty of fibs. They work on everything. Stocks, Forex, crypto, everything, precious metals, don't matter. All right. So the only Kirk can make you forget the finals are on, right? We in the finals right now. We in the financial finals right now. All right. And they want to act like we don't know the play. All right. We know the play. You see here. I love that commercial with the kid talking about responsibilities. I haven't seen, I just know it's on Rugrats. I got kids, so I watch Rugrats a lot. Like, responsibilities? Yeah. Means I can't have fun for the rest of my life. Like they told Angelica she had responsibilities, and she ruined that word. And ever since then, it's always been responsibilities for me. Like, I can't call it responsibilities. It's billaries, because the bill's going to show up whether you like it or not. But yeah, so that's going to do it for today, fam. I appreciate you guys. I'm about to go ahead and finish my food and finish drinking my cognac. It's water. I know y'all be thinking I'm turning up all the time. I'm not. It's just water. All right, fam. See here. It's all about the fibs and the fibs. It's all about that fib. That fib is no trouble. Man, I'm trying to told you. All right. So Charlie said this morning, a really good trading plan plus risk management will beat psychology in a day. Facts. Like, you don't need to have all the answers. Like, if you just follow your risk management and don't deviate from your trading plan, find a pair, find a time of day, find something that's volatile for you that fits your lifestyle. It really does kind of take the teeth out of the market. But everybody wants trading to be like this, super exciting venture. And I'm like, that ain't what this is. This is, like, the thing is, I'm going to give y'all the real. Like, if y'all want me to tell y'all the 100% real about what trading is, for me, the moment you make trading boring is when you become successful at it. Stop making it this emotional thing that you got to do that has, like, when you win a trade, you, oh, I won. Like, it has to become very boring and routine, right? Like, I think about, like, when I see, like, championship teams, right? Like, I see, like, Patrick Mahomes and like Travis Kelce, right? They win Super Bowls together, but it's not like when they score a touchdown, it's not like it's the greatest thing that ever happened to them. They celebrate and it's on to the next play, right? Like they've been there before. It's not this super, oh my God, we did it. It's like, yeah, just like we planned it. Next one, let's go. Let's run it back. Let's do it again, right? Like that for me, it says a lot about their mindset and their approach to what they're doing. It's not about the excitement anymore. It's about execution. When you're just here for the execution side of it, you know you've evolved mentally because you no longer have these emotional highs. Because if you ride the emotional high, guess what else you're going to ride? The emotional low. And that's the part where people say, it's a scam and it's this and it's that. And I'm like, dude, no, you're creating a narrative. And it's just you making it be something that it ain't. All right. And the moment you get out your head, it really does line up and it makes all the sense in the world. All right. It says, Kurt, you need to add one more line. It says, men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie, and the fibs will open your eyes. That's funny. It says, but the fibs will tell the truth, right? Everybody think the word fib mean you lying, like women lie, men lie, right? But the fibs will tell the truth. Let's see here, best duo in football. Yeah, I mean, right now, for sure. Right now, for sure. They're definitely doing their thing. All right. Would you use a fib on a level strategy? Yeah. Me and Oren have done sessions together where I've used fibs with his sessions. Like, yeah, we talk all the time about this stuff. Like, I keep talking to him. We're going to like put together like some kind of session. We just kind of sit down and vibe out together. It's scary to do a session with Oren because I know me and him are like completely off the rails goofballs when we get around each other. Like, we don't do nothing productive when we hang out together. It's just jokes on jokes on jokes. Like, nothing good is going to happen. So for me, I know I'm like, as much as I would love to do a session with Oren, we're not going to get nothing done. It's going to be like 45 minutes of jokes and like 15 minutes of chart. And y'all going to be like, we loved every minute. We ain't learned jack. All right. We cracked jokes the whole time. See here. Oh, yeah, no problem, Klebs. See here. Looking at my winning trades. Like a setup target was great. Test out different patterns. Yep. Just you get into a rhythm with it and it just kind of does its thing. The depressing low. Yeah, man. That emotional low will eat you alive because you roll those emotional highs. Like, you got to get out of that mindset of like everything is like this super, reactive thing. Like, once you become less reactive about your trading, man, I'm telling you, it becomes a real journey for you because it's more about execution and just documentation. And like I said, the fun, trading's not boring to me. I don't want to say that because everybody gets it misconstrued. Like, I don't like trading. Like, I love it, but it's definitely more about just executing properly. And I take my joy, my dopamine hit comes from like execution on my trading plan and not deviating, regardless of what my mind is like. Ooh, this is one of them things you could just do what you want to do. And I'm like, no, it ain't. Do what the plan said to do. All right. Says just have a free extra hour that day. I mean, listen, I'm a back test though. Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, of course. Everybody, listen, fibs are in almost everybody's repertoire now, man. You can't ignore this stuff. Like, you guys see how consistent they are. But yeah, I'm gonna let you guys go. I appreciate you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and get my food. I was just about to finish it, so just know I'm like halfway full. So I'm like, I want to yawn, but I don't want to yawn because I'm like, I got to finish my food. So I'm about to go down here and eat this food. I appreciate you guys. And I have not eaten all day. So I started eating and then I got caught up in some research. And then that'd be my problem. Like, I'll be like, I'll be eating food and I'll be like, you see the phone I grabbed first was this. They was right next to each other. And I grabbed the Android first because it's my first love and it's going to stay that way. This is just, it's not even work, babe. It's just work. Like, this is where the happiness lies, like right up in there. Yes. All right. You see, I can do more with that. Black Panther. Anyway, I'll be researching something and I'll be eating. I'm like, oh, what did he say? Back that up. Let me get my notes out, man. I'm sitting here and I get the writing like it's so. And next thing I know, I'm like all in at the desk. I'm like watching the dude and I pause it and I write something else and I watch and I pause. And the food's just sitting here getting cold. And then by the time I'm done, I got to walk this up back to the kitchen and put it in the refrigerator or something. And I got to try it. It's a thing, man. Like, I love what I do. Like, I get so immersed in it. But I'm gonna go finish my food. No Marvel moment. So that way, Cheryl won't come and beat me up, and I don't want no smoke. I don't want to get no more fights. All right. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. And as usual and as always, stay patient, stay disciplined, and the gains will come. I'm out. And oh yeah. Good night, everybody. Stay blessed, family. Love you guys. I will see you guys on Wednesday with Mike. Tomorrow I got to go hang out with the little one. We got driver's training. I don't even want to talk about it. So